I've had to comfort families who've lost somebody. Most recently,
I have to comfort family sometimes.
I do too.
Even my own family.
I have to comfort my family all the time.
Weeks ago, actually,
once we lost one of my dogs, and I had to comfort my family
mother
and myself.
I met at the bedside of her son who had been shot in that theater.
Oh,
they're talking about Abraham Lincoln.
No, they're not. They're talking about the people who got shot in Colorado.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Abraham Lincoln when he got shot in that theater.
About 2 months later,
I don't think he was talking
this young man
about that.
and his mom showed up, and he looked unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
It was so unbelievable.
But there were a lot of families who didn't have that good fortune.
I have good fortune in my family.
Sometimes
they love me even though my head looks like this.
So
my family loves me even though I have a Squidward
we have
nose.
to enforce the laws we've already got.
I love you even though you have a Squidward nose.
Make sure that we're
I love you even though you got a big giant forehead.
Mentally ill. We've done a much better job in terms of background checks, but we've got more to do.
Did he just go to mentally ill
when it comes to enforcement?
I think he went to immigration.
What?
He think you talking about immigration.
Don't belong on our streets.
They don't belong here.
So
when do we have to vote?
We gotta vote soon.
Oh God, we gotta pay attention. I gotta figure out who to vote for.
Is seeing if we can get an assault weapons ban reintroduced.
Oh no!
Part of it is also looking at other sources of the violence. Because frankly, in my hometown of Chicago, there's an awful lot of violence. They're not using AK-47s; they're using cheap handguns.
But guns
so what
to
can
hunt
we do
are.
to intervene?
I don't
to make
think
sure
so.
that young people have opportunity.
But it's okay. We can have different views.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now we're talking about schools.
If there's violence on the streets, that working with faith groups and law enforcement, we can catch it before it gets out of control.
Catch it.
So what I want is a comprehensive strategy. Part of it is seeing if we can get automatic weapons that kill folks in amazing numbers out of the hands of
automatic weapons.
They want to get them off the streets.
If we can get into these communities and making sure we catch violent impulses before they occur.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
Catch violent impulses before they occur.
Before they occur.
How?
I don't know.
Like you say things, but you have to say how.
Here's a new person.
We, of course, don't want to have automatic weapons, and that's already illegal in this country to have automatic weapons. What I believe is we have to do, as the President mentioned towards the end of his remarks there, which is to make enormous efforts to enforce the gun laws that we have and to change the culture of violence we have.
Oh, that's good.
And you ask, how are we going to do that?
How?
And there are a number of things. He mentioned good schools. I totally agree. We were able to drive our schools to be number one in the nation in my state. And I believe if we do a better job in education, we'll give people the hope and opportunity they deserve and perhaps less violence from that. But let me mention another thing, and that is parents. We need moms and dads helping raise kids.
They have guns?
No, it's not because of the
parents. Having two parents in the home, and that's not always possible.
It's because of society.
Yeah, media.
He's wrong.
Gosh, to tell our kids before they have babies, they ought to think about getting married to someone. That's a great idea.
How they're treated in life.
Because if there's a two-parent family,
sexism
the prospect
and
of
racism.
living in poverty goes down dramatically. The opportunities that the child will be able to achieve increase dramatically. So we can make changes in the way our culture works to help bring people away from violence and give them opportunity and bring them in the American system. The greatest failure we've had with regards to gun violence in some respects is what is known as Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious? That's a movie!
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why is he talking about movie?
Exactly, I think we don't know precisely. But where thousands of automatic and AK-47 type weapons were given to people that ultimately gave them to drug lords. They used those weapons against their own citizens and killed Americans with them. And this was a program of the government. For what purpose it was put in place, I can't imagine. But it's one of the great tragedies related to violence in our society, which has occurred during this administration, which I think the American people would like to understand fully. It's been investigated to a degree, but the administration has carried out executive privilege to prevent all the information from coming out. I'd like to understand who it was that did this, what the idea was behind it, why it led to the violence. Thousands of guns going to Mexico.
He's talking about problems, but not saying what's going to be done about them.
Yeah, he just talks about
you just need to tell us what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Banned.
Well,
I know that you signed an assault weapons ban when you were in Massachusetts, obviously, with this question.
That's our
you
opinion.
no longer do support that. Why is